You know, I've been a member of the IETs Council for 3 years now, ending September 2017, and there have been years of great turmoil. I've created videos after the earlier council meetings before the governance changes of 2016, enacted in 2017, and I thought I'd produce my final swan song before bowing out. The change to the council during 2017 was significant, and it is fair to say the council is still finding its way. Part of this is due to the way that the council operated before Governance for the Future, that's G4F, changes were approved by the membership at large in 2016. The previous council was a large and cumbersome body dominated by vested interest and cliques. A wise man once told me that whether a grouping is a clique or not depends upon whether one is inside or outside of the clique. Oh, that's so very true. The big issue was that the council wasn't working and there was mutiny within its ranks, caused ostensibly by the proposed changes to the governance, which is ironic. The working parties, that's monitoring governance, current and future strategy and communicating views of members, were having mixed successes, with 2 trying hard and a 3rd, monitoring governance, failing in all of its duties. Not wishing to labour the issues, the culmination was that the chair of monitoring governance was forcibly ejected from his position by a private vote of council. And many of the initiatives of the other working parties languished when presented to the IET Board of Trustees or the main boards. Governance for the Future was meant to redress these issues and, I believe, to a great extent, it has. The key changes are that each council member is also a member of one of the main boards, and that all members of council contribute to the strategy of the IET through the strategy meetings held annually with the Board of Trustees and senior IET staff. The council is working so much better, and I'm pleased that my tenure included 1 year under the new governance structure. I'm also delighted that my time on council coincided with that of Naomi Climber, the first woman to be president of the IET, and a breath of fresh air. She was inclusive, persuasive, from a commercial and not academic background, and listened rather than dominated. In my view, Naomi was the best president the IET has ever had, and I have seen a number of them. If this is what gender equality can do, then bring it on. I'm sure she'll go on to do wonderful things to promote science and engineering. Please stand for Parliament too, Naomi. There are still some things that need addressing and are, in my opinion, leftovers from the way that council operated in the past. That is what I'm going to focus on in my swan song. The first is the IET's view of council. Understandably, because the council was so disruptive in the past, members of other parts of the IET's management and governance structures are wary of council. If I was in their position, I would probably be cautious too. But I think it's time to change. I hope it will, as new members are recruited and trust grows between the council and the rest of the IET. I've witnessed, when council wishes to do something, an instinctive reaction of something like, let's stop them, rather than, that may be a good idea. Next is the role of council. Just what is council for? Well, it still has the 3 responsibilities of monitoring governance, future and current strategy, and communicating views of members. They didn't change with G4F. With the exception of monitoring of governance, these are all met by our membership of the main boards, and monitoring governance still has its own working party. Council comprises an experienced and often dynamic group of people, and I feel that our time together is often wasted by introspection and arbitrary procedures, a legacy from the old council. My view is that council should identify themes that are important to the IET and the profession as a whole, especially those not covered by the President nor the main boards. Council's in a unique position to look across the IET and the profession. No other arm of governance can do this, and we should not squander this opportunity. Third is the way that Council operates. Probably inherited from the past, the first year of Council under G4F was still too stilted in the way that it operated, with voluminous quantities of documents in an archaic format with little summary information and few diagrams, focus on navel gazing and little use of the expertise around the table. A ray of hope came in the form of World Cafe sessions that tried to redress this balance. In these, members were really able to contribute and provide their insights into pre-defined topics. These were instigated by the chair of the Council for the 2017-18 session, and I hope that he will build on them and dispense with some of the artificial and arbitrary formality that is out of place under the new governance arrangements. My last point is about senior members, and it's probably a contentious one. The IET is ageist, but we, who are older, have not always helped ourselves. The moaning old volunteers, mostly men it has to be said, is something that I've heard many times. Of course, the IET has to focus on attracting younger members and volunteers into its ranks. Without them, the IET will wither and die. But I believe there should also be a focus on attracting mid-career members into the volunteer community, to bring experience to the dynamism of the young. Many older members feel that they have to fight to be heard, and this probably comes across as too aggressive, leading to them being sidelined at best or ignored at worst. I make a plea: don't alienate your older members, and find a satisfying role for them and help them, yes, help them become better ambassadors for the very real and positive things that the IET is doing for our profession. I don't intend to stand again for Council, nor for any other governance positions within the IET. I would like to encourage any young and mid-career engineers to put themselves forward for election or selection to the many senior positions within the IET as volunteer positions. It's good for you, good for your continual professional development, good for the IET, and good for our profession. I'd like all of those over 65 to step down from these positions and make way for the next generation of engineers. Stay with us, but use your time to be positive. Inform yourself about the great things that the IET is doing. Be constructive where you think things could be done better, and encourage our young to join the honest professionals who kept the lights on, transport running, buildings being built, financial systems running, and all of the other good things that we do, whilst the rest of the world was in meltdown. So I say goodbye and thanks for all the fish, a reference to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I leave you to Google that if you don't know what I'm talking about. And thank you for listening to me over these 3 years. Thank you.